When you think of joint pain, you probably think aches and pains in older adults, but that's not always the case. Dr. Megan Crippen is here this afternoon from Nationwide Children's Toledo so we can learn more about pediatric rheumatology and how it can impact a child's daily life. Thanks for being here today.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. So I think when I think rheumatology, I think arthritis maybe, but what are some of the conditions that fall under pediatric rheumatology?
So arthritis is actually probably is our most common condition in pediatric rheumatology as well. Rheumatoid arthritis can start as very young ages, and cousins of rheumatoid arthritis can start as young as 12, 15 months even. So juvenile idiopathic arthritis is what we call it when it affects children under 16. So it is not uncommon, up to 1 in 1,000 actually, in some studies.
Wow. So that's one of them, you know? There are a couple other conditions too?
Yeah, so other conditions, you know, children can also get lupus. Some more rare conditions, juvenile dermatomyositis. Let's see.
That's a big one. That's a big name.
Yeah, it is a big name. It's huge, which is a skin rash that children can get associated with severe muscle weakness, actually.
Wow.
That is very rare. That's a 1 in 100,000 disease. But the nice thing about pediatric rheumatology is a lot of our diseases are quite treatable.
Wonderful.
And we have some really good outcomes in a lot of our patients. So
That's great.
Fantastic, yeah.
Because when you talk about things like rheumatoid arthritis and lupus, I mean, I think autoimmune disorders and things that could be a lifelong diagnosis. But what are some of the treatments and some of those outcomes?
Yeah, so we have a lot of really great medications now for lupus and juvenile arthritis. So medications like Humira, which is adalimumab, or methotrexate, hydroxychloroquine. These are some of the common medicines that we might be using in our patients. And of course, some people have a little bit more complicated of a course than others, but a lot of our patients do really well on just these very common medications that we use in kids and adults.
Yeah, and yeah, it could be kind of scary for kids probably, for parents. When their kids are sick and they're not feeling well, the kids probably handle it a little bit better than we might expect, right?
Oh, they always do. You know they do. So actually, it's really common in my patients that they don't tell me that they have pain, that they're not talking about how terrible it is, especially in our little ones. Many of them never even know that they have pain.
Wow.
So they might walk funny in the morning or after naps, or maybe mom comes in and says, you know, I can't bend the knee. I'm trying to do a diaper change and I can't bend her knee to do the diaper change. And it's worse after she has been sleeping, whether it's been a nap or all day, and like sleeping all night, or they have trouble with the stairs in the morning because it's really a big swollen joint that is stiff and not moving. And the kid doesn't even say, oh, I'm in pain.
My knee hurts or whatever. But that's really interesting because those are symptoms that parents can look for that might say, hey, we need to go and talk to the doctor about that.
Yeah, definitely. And again, a lot of times we're not looking for this sort of disease in young kids. So sometimes that can delay diagnosis and make it a little bit harder to treat. But it's when you are diagnosed early, it really leads to fantastic outcomes in many patients, of course.
That's good. And what's wonderful to hear too is that you are kind of one of a kind in our area here, fairly new here to the area in terms of being a doctor who you have some family roots here in Toledo, but you're the only pediatric rheumatologist, right, in the region?
Full-time here, pediatric rheumatologist. So there's a couple others who come up maybe a couple times a month and might see patients and have telehealth visits outside of that. But I know also sometimes that can be really scary to not have somebody with you all of the time, who you can just bring your child whenever something comes up and say, you know, I know that we saw you 2 weeks ago, but today is different and I want you to look at and make sure everything is okay because something is off.
Yeah.
So having that availability can be really, really helpful and relieve a lot of stress. Plus, if you are traveling to another city, whether it's in Michigan or in Ohio, to see someone, that could be 4 hours of your day. It could be an entire day to see a doctor.
and kind of rough on those kids too, or who are having to go in the car for long periods of time. So if families want to get connected, you're in the Sylvania area, right?
Yes, so I'm in the nationwide Toledo, like sports medicine, orthopedics, and now rheumatology. This clinic that we have in Sylvania. Patients can talk to their doctors, or parents can talk to their doctors and ask if rheumatology seems like a good fit for them, and get an referral, and we can hopefully get them in pretty quick. So.
Beautiful. So you might be just learning about this. This is the information here on your screen. If you want to get connected, you say, finally, there's somebody here full time. That's good news for my family. Thanks so much for being here today. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.